If you've been hearing about ESPN BET and wondering how it works, you're not alone. Sports betting has become a huge part of modern sports culture, especially in the United States, and ESPN BET is one of the newer platforms trying to bring a more familiar sports media feel into the sportsbook space. Before anything else, it's important to understand that sports betting is strictly for adults of legal gambling age in your location, and it should always be approached carefully and responsibly, not as a way to make guaranteed money. ESPN BET is a digital sportsbook created in partnership with ESPN and Penn Entertainment. It was designed to combine ESPN's sports coverage with an easy-to-use betting platform where users can place wagers on different sports events like football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more. The idea is to keep everything in one place: sports news, odds, stats, and betting options. When people talk about ESPN BET, they are usually referring to the mobile app or website where users can create an account and participate in sports wagering where it is legally allowed. At its core, the process starts with understanding what a sportsbook actually is. A sportsbook is simply a platform that sets odds for sporting events and allows users to bet on the outcome of those events. Odds represent the probability of something happening, and they determine how much you can potentially win if your prediction is correct. ESPN BET displays these odds in real time, and they change depending on team performance, injuries, betting activity, and other factors. When someone first opens ESPN BET, the first thing they would typically encounter is the home interface, which highlights popular upcoming games, featured bets, and trending markets. The platform is designed to feel familiar to sports fans, especially those who already follow ESPN content. You'll often see odds for major leagues like the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, and even college sports, depending on what is in season and what is legally available in your region. To actually use a sportsbook like ESPN BET, a user would need to create an account. This usually involves entering basic personal information, such as name, date of birth, and location to confirm eligibility. This step is important because sports betting is regulated, and platforms must verify that users meet the legal age requirement and are physically located in a permitted state or region. After account creation, users are typically asked to verify their identity with documents or digital checks. This is part of standard security and legal compliance procedures. Once an account is set up and verified, the next step is funding the account. Sportsbooks allow users to deposit money using various payment methods, such as debit cards, bank transfers, or digital payment systems, depending on what is supported. This deposited money becomes the user's betting balance. It is very important to understand at this stage that this money should be treated carefully, because once it is used for betting, it can be lost, depending on the outcomes of games. After funding the account, users can start exploring different types of bets. ESPN BET, like most sportsbooks, offers several categories. The most common type is a moneyline bet, where you simply pick which team or player will win a game. Another common type is point spread betting, which is designed to balance the odds between two teams by giving an advantage or disadvantage in points. There are also over/under bets, where you predict whether the total score of a game will be higher or lower than a number set by the sportsbook. Beyond these basics, sportsbooks also offer more complex betting options, such as parlays, which combine multiple bets into one. The potential payout for parlays is higher, but the risk is also significantly greater because all selections must be correct for the bet to win. There are also prop bets, which focus on specific events within a game, such as how many touchdowns a player might score or how many points a basketball player might achieve. On ESPN BET, each sport has its own section where users can browse available games and betting options. For example, during NFL season, you might see a list of upcoming football games with different betting lines attached to each one. If you tap or click on a game, you'll see a breakdown of all available wagers, from simple win-loss predictions to more detailed statistical bets. The interface is designed to make it easy to compare options, but the actual decisions still require knowledge of the sport and careful thinking. One of the most important things to understand when using a sportsbook is how odds work. Odds are usually shown in formats like positive and negative numbers. A negative number indicates the favourite team, meaning they are more likely to win, while a positive number indicates the underdog, meaning they are less likely to win but offer a higher payout if they do. Understanding this system is essential before even considering placing a wager, because it directly affects potential winnings and risk levels. Another major part of ESPN Bet is live betting, sometimes called in-game betting. This allows users to place bets while a game is already happening. The odds update constantly based on what is happening in real time. For example, if a team scores early in a football game, the odds may shift dramatically. Live betting can be exciting, but is also fast-paced and can lead to quick losses if decisions are made emotionally rather than logically. Many users are also drawn to promotional offers or bonuses that sportsbooks sometimes provide. These can include deposit matches or special odds boosts. While these promotions may sound appealing, they usually come with conditions such as wagering requirements, meaning you must place a certain amount of bets before you can withdraw any bonus-related winnings. It is always important to read the terms carefully so you understand what you are agreeing to. Security is another major aspect of ESPN Bet. Because real money is involved, the platform uses encryption and verification systems to protect user data and financial transactions. Identity verification is also part of preventing fraud and ensuring compliance with gambling laws. Without these safeguards, sportsbooks would not be allowed to operate legally. While it may seem exciting, it is very important to approach sports betting with caution. No bet is ever guaranteed, and even experienced analysts and fans lose money regularly. Sports outcomes are unpredictable, and many factors can influence a game that cannot always be measured. That is why responsible gambling practices are emphasized across all legal sportsbooks. This includes setting limits on how much money and time you spend, never betting money you cannot afford to lose, and taking breaks when needed. ESPN Bet also provides responsible gambling tools, such as deposit limits and self-exclusion options, which allow users to control their activity. These tools exist because sports betting can become addictive for some people, and maintaining control is more important than any potential win. For beginners, the best way to understand ESPN Bet is to think of it less as a way to make money and more as a form of entertainment tied to sports knowledge. People who enjoy it responsibly usually treat it like watching a game with an extra layer of engagement, where predictions and outcomes add excitement rather than financial pressure. In conclusion, ESPN Bet is a modern sportsbook designed to integrate sports media with betting functionality in a streamlined platform. It allows users in legal regions to explore odds, place wagers, and follow games in real time. However, it requires a clear understanding of how betting works, strong awareness of risk, and responsible behavior at all times. Whether it's moneyline bets, spreads, parlays, or live wagering, everything revolves around probability and chance, not certainty. The most important lesson for any beginner is that no matter how confident a prediction feels, the outcome of sports is never guaranteed, and that uncertainty is what drives both the excitement and the risk. If you ever decide to explore platforms like ESPN Bet, do it with caution, stay informed, and always prioritize responsible decision-making over chasing wins.